Prime Minister's fears for a summer of riots in Fraying, UK.
Yeah, and Angela Rayner came out yesterday and said after they had an away day in June, on the back of that, one of the executive directors of the government said, look, it's a disparate, broken Britain, right? And this is it. But Angela Rayner has actually come out and said, because of deindustrialisation, because of lack of resilience in places of abject poverty, and indeed lack of pride of the country, people have become so upset, so disingenuous and so angry about what's happening in the country.
Wait, so she didn't mention anything at all about the hotels, the illegal migrant hotels, she just went straight for it's Thatcher's fault,
Alex,
basically.
No, well, listen, let's take a bit of a step back, OK? These hotels were running under Conservative leadership, OK, for the past 10, 14 years.
Yep.
Labour inherited an awful lot of mess, but Labour, in my view, haven't done much to actually help engage the country, get inside it. Now, for all she was banging on yesterday about the reasons why, she was pointing to going forward. Well, I'm sorry, in my view, she shot herself in the foot because everything that she said is a result of what's happening. Reform have said where it was going to happen, and indeed the only party that have come out to say we can actually help with this is Reform. So unless they take a leaf out of the populist book, unless they start listening to the people on the ground, us, the democratic people who vote for them or didn't vote for them, they're going to have to test the litmus paper, which is burning brightly and about to erupt into the tinderbox over the summer.
Well,
schools are off. It's a perfect storm on the back of them wanting to give 16-year-olds the vote, for heaven's sake.
And Angela Rayner's talking about having to acknowledge the concerns, but surely we need to go further than acknowledgement. There needs to be action at this point. I mean, we've seen protests in Epping, we've seen protests in Canary Wharf last night. I mean, this is going to spread unless something is done.
Well, indeed, I think, Kelly, you're right. This all boils down to a lack of accountability that has been there for quite a long time now. We have a Home Secretary who's missing in action. The Home Secretary should have been there in Epping the day after, trying to address people's concerns.
Where is Yvette Cooper? What is she doing?
Exactly, where is Yvette Cooper? And
they're on recess now, aren't they?
And then you've got a Prime Minister who I would say is an Illywacker Prime Minister. Basically, he's a small-time conman. That's what he is. He's sold a pup to the British public at the last election. He's missing in action along with the rest of his cabinet. And whenever something kicks off, because people are too fed up with what's going on in our country, he labels them as the far right.
Yeah, he had this interview the other day in the House of Commons. I can't remember what committee he was talking to, and he was asked about his, how would he rate his time? And one of the things he says he's been very bad at is communication. The government's been bad at communication. We're looking at this Britannia Hotel in Canary Wharf, which currently has no asylum seekers in it.
No asylum seekers,
right? Just to be super clear, there's nobody in it, and there's a protest forming. This is the sort of stuff, don't you think, the government should be coming out and communicating to the public?
But what did we have yesterday? We had first the Home Office denying that this hotel in Canary Wharf had any links at all with the migrant situation. And then it was confirmed later in the day, well, maybe it might have been put, on hold as a possible overflow for Manston Airport.
Well, that's exactly it. GB News understands that the Britannia Hotel in Canary Wharf had been taken over in case of any need for an overflow hotel for migrants at Manston Airport. The cost per night of rooms at the Britannia Hotel in Canary Wharf is £81. No asylum seekers are currently resident in the Britannia Hotel, and no asylum seekers are being removed from the Bell Hotel in Epping. And the Home Secretary, Yvette Cooper, believes in the right to peaceful protest.
Do you know what I don't like about this either? It seems to me that the Labour government are trying to blame the public for what's happening.
Look,
instead of teasing out the real issue here of them not being able to house the amount of asylum seekers that have been allowed to cross into this country.
Indeed. Look, I think the clock is ticking to civil disobedience, civil unrest, simply because for far too long the establishment elite have believed that they can get away with it, that they will not be held accountable at the ballot box, and that is what has happened for so long. And people are finally fed up of it.
I do think, I mean, time and time again, British people have voted for lower immigration and not let alone illegal migration flooding into the country. And
well,
I think it's starting to fall apart.
He can't even call it illegal.
Yeah.
He calls it irregular migration.
Irregular,
But the problem is they can't stem the flow of the small boats. I mean, we're at a record-breaking year, aren't we? 20,000 across so far.
It's not just the small boats. I mean, you look at... You've had Border Force on here at GB News, right? And they have said the minute they walk off that plane, the minute they trigger the words, I'm seeking asylum, that's it. Right.
We saw that footage of Patrick, and I was here that night, and seeing that footage of one journalist from GB News. We're a small channel, we're a growing but small channel. We were able to find 3 of them within a few hours. I mean, this is ridiculous, isn't it?
What that tells us, Alex, is that what is missing is the political will. Now, we saw with President Trump, he came in, we had a massive issue on the Mexican-American border of illegal migration, and he dealt with it. It's now finished, it's stopped. And the way it stops in the UK, there's only one way to stop this. And the way you stop it, well, we're picking them up in the middle of the channel. We don't drop these people off at Dover. We go and drop them back off at Calais. What are the French going to do? Wake up from their 35-hour a week working week?
Yeah.
Using the internet without a VPN, a virtual private network, is a bit like taking to the road without car insurance. All it takes is one unlucky moment to cost you a lot of cash. This video's sponsor is Private Internet Access. They are the VPN to help keep you safe. Click the link in the description below to find out why over 30 million people have downloaded PIA to protect themselves online. A virtual private network is an app that hides your IP address and helps keep your data private. When you're browsing the internet at home, you give up a large amount of data to businesses, to shops, and indeed to social media giants too. Hackers have the ability to steal your personal data with ease, including sensitive information such as passwords, keystrokes, and even your personal photos. Private Internet Access helps protect your personal data by encrypting your internet connection to keep your data out of the hands of cyber criminals. And it's not just hackers either to be concerned about. Information can be censored too. When Canada passed their C-18 bill, social media giants decided to ban news content on their platforms. But PIA can protect your ability to consume the news and content you love. Private Internet Access is available for Windows users, Mac OS, Android, Linux, iOS, and you can use one PIA subscription to protect an unlimited amount of devices. And we've got a huge GB News discount for you too. Click the link in this video's description and you'll get a massive 83% off PIA. That's under £2 a month, the price of a coffee, and you'll get an extra 4 months completely free on top. Also, there's a 30-day money-back guarantee too. Visit piavpn.com/GB News to start protecting yourself digitally today.
Well, it all comes, doesn't it? Concern and alarm at the very top of government that we could see a repeat of the summer riots that we saw last year. Concerns over immigration. Already we've seen protests in Epping, haven't we, in Essex, and also hearing reports that there were protests in Canary Wharf last night. What do you make of this? I mean, Angela Rayner's talking about the government needing to acknowledge real concerns about rapid change migration in order to diffuse community tensions.
They've been acknowledging concerns, so has the last government, the one before, and that doesn't do anything to diffuse it. Underlying people's anger in this country is the fact that living standards for most people have fallen, our public services have got worse, and the government is doing absolutely nothing about it. Now, objectively, and also in my opinion, this is not the fault of migrants, of Muslims, of minorities, but those are the ones who get scapegoated for this. And when you have a government, as we have had a whole array of governments, absolutely uninterested in improving people's living standards, this is the sort of thing that happens. So instead of fixing particular problems which could cause flashpoints, so for example, processing the cases faster, or if someone's case hasn't been processed in 6 months as they should be, currently basically none of them are, allowing people to legally work so that they, firstly, we don't have the issue like we were just discussing with Deliveroo and Uber Eats and Just Eat, but also they require less support from the state. The number of people who are in hotels could be reduced.